Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonka922. Just did a live stream, so you guys check that out, camera crew and everything. For today, go to the job again. This is gonna be Pekro Sakurasou. This was, episode 15 review. We'll do episode 15 review. Later today I will do that video I said I was going to do, the whole contest thing with the suggestion block and everything. So yeah. Now, let's get into this. This one, unfortunately, I forgot the name, but pretty much episode 15 of Pekro Sakurasou. Basically what happened from last week when we saw Gene. Man, this motherfucker. He needs to, he needs a book on what you do in a relationship and what you mustn't do. But anyway, pretty much last week, Misaki senpai, Gene left. She was depressed, and we got the beginning part. I'm trying to think what it was. Yeah, it was SORATA, Nanami, Mashiro, and everybody, except for Gene. He's not there. And they basically, the story is that she's leaving, the professor, the teacher, the sensei. She's leaving to go to some vacation. So basically, they have to go home. But the problem is, the whole gist of this situation is that Misaki-senpai doesn't want to go home. And the whole beginning, this episode was a lot of funny parts. It was goddamn funny. And on a serious emotional parts. But anyway, so it's decided from what they were talking about, and it was so funny. She's like, I can't go home, and stuff, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna go. He's like, I'm gonna go to Sorata's house, and everything. And Mashiro wants to go and everything, so they decide to go to his house and get on the train. And here's the thing that I'm probably gonna regret saying. For some reason to me. Oh, by the way, Pantone 12. I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. Just saying it right now. I felt that Misaki-senpai started acting like Mashiro in this episode. Like she had no emotion on her face. Like you barely tell if she was happy or sad or anything. Now, they basically get on the bullet train, he's playing with the crowd, she's like, and everything. And, they're going to his house. Sorata's house. By the way, Sorata's father? This guy was like a fucking mountain. This guy was like, It's like, I'm like, what the fuck? His mother was alright. His mother was a little weird, but nothing too bad. And of course, she's got the sister. She's like, Yoni-chan. I'm like, come on, get all that shit. But the reaction of Misaki, obviously, she's depressed about Gene. Now, the big points in this episode that sold it, like completely, were probably 3. 3 points. 3 huge points. Well, more or less huge. I would say 4. Now, as you know, they're there at his house, and they getting this fixated and putting in different rooms. Sorata calls Gene, and Gene basically, I understand why he did it. But still, I give him this word. Hee-haw! Jackass. Hee-haw! He gets a hee-haw! Because I understand what he's trying to do. Basically, he's saying that he doesn't want to be known as an average Joe. He wants to be something more for Misaki. And that's why he did what he did. Now, he's not living with a girl. He's living with the former student council president that obviously hates Gene's guts. And basically, while he's telling SORATA this, SORATA looks at the envelope that has, because he got accepted to the whole, gaming competition thing. So, SORATA's thinking about it and realizes that he understands where Gene's coming from. Now, and he basically tells him to take care of Misaki. Now, the Reddit of the episode was fucking funny as fuck. It was just like, there's this part, oh my god, Mashiro, she's arguing with SORATA's sister, and there's this part when they're doing the dishes, and SORATA's mother's like, you'll become a good wife, and he spills the tea from SORATA, and I was like, damn, that was fucking funny shit. So, and then Mashiro starts talking. She's like, she's like, no. It was this back and forth with her and SORATA's sister, Yuko. And she's like Mashiro says she was going to beat her up or something. I'm like, what? Oh, Mashiro. So that's pretty much what happened there. Majority of the rest of the episode, there's a scene. Well, there's several scenes. The scene with Mashiro and SORATA, that was kind of interesting, where she Mashiro, not only during this scene was she doing her manga and working on it, she drew and colored an image, just, paper, for SORATA's video game. I thought that was like, whoa. That really shocked me. I was like, holy shit. And then it was like a scene when, Yuko, SORATA's sister, finds out that Mashiro is the author of this manga, and she's like, she leaves. That was funny as fuck. And I was like, wow. That really shocked me, and SORATA was like, he says thank you and everything, and that was one point. That was a big point, huge point. The other huge point, SORATA and nanami later on, because then there was a whole bit there, and but this point was huge because I was like, wow, Mashiro, and he says thank you to her in a way, and it's like a cute scene, and I'm like, damn. I'm going to say something stupid, and it's probably going to come out the wrong way. Mashiro can get the D. I did it. I don't care. She can get D. She can get D. You can. Alright, and then later on, there's the whole thing with SORATA and nanami. They, are talking, and they're getting ready for New Year's Eve, and there's an interesting moment when they're talking about his gaming thing, his competition, and her voice acting thing, if she's gonna do well with it. And they almost kiss, but then Mashiro shows up, and she's like drawing some, and she leaves. And this is the other scene of the episode that was, oh my god, probably the best scene of the fucking episode. The best. When she leaves, and there was a touching moment with nanami and SORATA, and there was nothing really going on. She bumps into Misaki-senpai and says, is it wrong for the people, the couple in my manga, not to be together? And then she's referencing how SORATA loves the original me. The me that draws manga. And saying that, what is the gene that loves you? And I was like, wow. For somebody like Mashiro, who supposedly needs everything done by her, for her, man, she helped two people in this episode. She helped SORATA and she helped Misaki Senpai. That blew my mind. Just boom, just like unbelievable. The other things that happened in this episode, I should add, and this is, like I said, I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. This was fantastic. I'm trying to think. What else happened? Oh yeah, we had the thing with the sister. Yeah, the sister. That she was studying and everything, and they have dinner and everything, and he goes in the bath with his father. I was like, oh my god, that's nasty. His father's like, I'm drunk. Help me, son. And I'm like, Jesus. Oh god, that was insane. And he was trying to convince his father to allow his sister to go to Sue High, the same high school that SORATA is currently in. And this leads up to this scene where they go in the car and they go into the cliff area where the sun's rising, and it's New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and they all are in front of there, and that's when, we see, sister saying, oh, Oni-chan, you did that for me and everything, and I love you and whatnot, and then everybody screams out what they're going to do. Misaki says, I'm going to continue making anime for Jean and everything. So it says, I'm going to do well in my presentation. Nanami says, I'm going to, ace my voice acting. And even his sister says, I'm going to pass the exam and be with Oni-chan. And Mashiro says something so stupid. I'm sorry. What did she say? I laughed my ass off. Meatball beam! She says, meatball beam! She's like, I like meatballs. And they're all back and forth, and Misaki Senpai then quietly says, I hope Jean gets into the college school he wants. This was an overall, and I will say this right now, this show, the thing that makes this show really special, and I'm probably going to state this when I do my final episode review of Pekko Sakurasou. This show is about truthfully trying your best, working hard. Your hard work will pay off in the end, and you'll get what you want. SORATA's gaming, Mashiro's manga, Misaki Senpai's anime, Nanami's voice acting, no matter what it is, they try their hardest and it pays off in the end. And that's the biggest thing to think about when you're thinking about this series. But overall, those are the points that made this episode just grand. Mashiro helping SORATA. Mashiro helping Misaki Senpai. The whole thing with his sister and his father. Also, Nanami and Mashiro as well. It was an overall great episode that just further cemented the relationship he has with Nanami and further cemented the relationship he has with Mashiro, and also gotten freaking, I need to say this right now, get Misaki Senpai off her ass and say, okay, I'm going to continue doing anime because that is the person Jean wants. That is the person he likes. He likes the me that works on anime and does all that stuff. Because she had the script and everything. Oh, I forgot to mention, we do see a scene with Jean when he was in the area he was in with the student council president. Former student council. Well, he's a student council now. And Jean is the former. And he was asking him, did I do the right thing? And he says, oh, you do everything wrong. But at the same time, you did do the right thing. I mean, Gene, I'm just going to say this briefly for Gene, because next week is going to be a Gene episode. I heard it first. I took a look at it. Next week, it's going to be all about Gene. Now, what I'm going to call this episode review, Mashiro something? Mashiro, I'm going to say it's like Mashiro helping SORATA. I don't know, Mashiro X, SORATA X, nanami, Masaki gets out of her funk. Something along those lines. But yeah, overall, like I said, it was a great episode. Listen, this show is turning into a special one. It is no questions asked. This episode just cemented it. Like, I'm not going to say in the annals of time, but it just cemented it for the fall. And when this is over, when this is finished, this show, everyone's going to be just like, wow, that was a great anime. But yeah, and that's all I got for you guys. So, Bankai 922. See you guys later. Later today, after when I come home from this job, I'll do that one video. The video I said I was going to do today, the whole thing with the... I'll do that. I'll watch a few more animes and I'll just do whatever. I might buy an anime tomorrow on my way home. Might stop by General Music World. It's the OVA of Shop, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. We'll see. I'll see you guys later. Mashiro for the motherfucking win. See ya.